Good evening. As I pop on here, it's 11:58. I'd already done one vid, and I realized I rambled too long. I was like, I don't need to ramble that long. For most part, today was a decent day. I had an alright walk. Was gonna touch on a subject in that walk, for that vid, and I'd upload it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna put that private for now. And I just took a couple of clips from it and posted it for now until I can figure out how to communicate what I was saying in the main body of that vid. But, the other two part, you guys have fun. Me getting, having a squirrel moment and walking up on some snakes. Cuddling up together in the sunlight. And then not even a couple minutes later, a totally different one in the same exact spot. It was just kind of pretty cool. But I've been spending a lot of my day just walk thing and then check on mom and all. I'm getting worried about my mom. My mom's getting really tired, and my dad's just doing his thing. He doesn't want to see bad happen, mom. He gets upset about the thought of it, but mom's made it clear to me tonight. She's tired. She's not doing good. She's tired, and I don't think I'm going to have my mom here much longer. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able, she goes like before her, yeah, I know I'm not going to do well. Regardless of the history of everything that's gone on, I still will not do well on that. I love my mom and dad. And as a child, I remember, I used to have nightmares losing my parents. And so, a lot of kids have had that. I remember having, I've had, don't want to get hung up on that. But, I go in at least a couple times a night to go check on my mom, make sure, she's doing alright. But tonight, when I went in, I saw how she's laying on the bed and all that, and I'm like, "Are you doing all right, mom?" And she's like shaking her head no a little bit, and like, and I asked her, I was like, "Are you not feeling good, or what's going on? What's wrong?" And she's like, "I'm just really, really, really tired," and so I don't think I'm afraid to say it out loud, but I'm afraid I'm genuinely not gonna have my mom around much longer. Like the way things are looking and how fast she's going, I'll be surprised I'm getting to the point I'll be surprised she makes it through spring. Like this has been some shit, and our family did some fucked up things for for what they like alienated the piss out of my folks. As long as I'm here, my folks get to deal with the excessive abuse from grandkids and kids and all that stuff, that alienation, isolation, the silent treatment, all of it. They get the abandonment abuse that I had to deal with. But if I leave, I have to worry about my life getting threatened on a constant. See how that works? The fact that somebody very close to me, who's very related to them, made a slip up, and that opened up a lot of questions, which led to other things. I started putting a lot of shit together, and I already put that vid up, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's public or if it's unlisted right at the moment, but yeah, I was sitting there putting a lot of things together, and it's just a big shit show. It's just no, my brothers and all them are out living their own lives. I got to not only be, and it's not like it's my parents' fault, but I feel it's equally my brother's responsibilities, especially when they're, within travel distance of their parents, to be as equally involved with their parents' life as I am. And when I was living down south, other than my oldest brother, who'd come here like every couple weeks, especially after I kind of got onto him and the grandkids. Like after my mom had her stroke, like you guys need to knock this shit off and quit fucking alienating your fucking our parents and your grandparents. This is some bullshit. That's abuse. And I think those messages are still on this phone, if not my other one that I've got that I have saved that I've intentionally kept because of all the shit that's gone on. So I mean, yeah. I just know that they've continued to do the same, basically abuse on me as that my mom's family did to her until pretty much she had a stroke. Because I still remember her, excuse me, when she had her first stroke. It was when she was sitting in her room and I was getting ready to leave to head home, and I saw this little clear heart necklace thing. It was a little heart necklace, and I didn't know it was a like one of the necklace urns because I'm used to like a silver tube pill looking thing. And I picked that up. I was like, "Oh, that's a nice necklace, Mom, that you got." And she's like, "You can have that. It's my dad." Checked out. So she had a stroke. I had to watch it. Kept telling my dad there's something wrong. He wouldn't fucking listen. Would not fucking listen. Waits like I think it was like waits for me to come back up another time. I think it was like a week later I come back up. I had came back up or whatever. Was it a week later? No, it was a month later. So it was like 2 weeks later. My aunt was talking to my mom. It was my dad's younger sister. And she realized there was something wrong. And she tells my dad, "You need to get her in a hospital. There is something seriously wrong." "Oh, okay." He finally takes her in then, 2 weeks after her first stroke. Takes her to the doctor, they check her, and like, yeah, she had some sort of stroke and all that. She should be alright, though. I mean, she's somewhat alright. Still moving and all that stuff. Why I'd come back up, the next month. And again, my mom's sitting in the living room. That's where I got a picture of her and I, the last picture she had before my mom checked out. My mom hasn't come back, basically. My mom's there, but yeah, before she had her really bad strokes. And everything that she's talking about is, I don't know why this family hates us so much. I don't know why the grandkids won't see us, and I don't know why they keep treating us all this way. And yeah, she was complaining about the grandkids, my siblings, her family, all that, the way they're treating all of us. And I watched her do this until she had a stroke. She doesn't remember the picture I took of her and I together before I left that day. Because it was right after that she fell into her. She ended up having a bad stroke, and that's when she ended up in the facility thing. I have a shit family. As much as I love my family, you don't sit there when there's an emergency and your kids or your spouse, anybody tells you, "Hey, there's a fucking problem. Get them to a doctor." And you sit on your fucking ass. This is why I get angry about some of this shit. This is the type of parenting I had growing up. My mom would drag me into places when there wasn't a problem at times. Like, she got people to literally think that I was a schizophrenic, like I was fucking crazy. When it was her, when we go into therapy sessions, it was her answering a lot of the questions. Till eventually the doctor got smart enough to tell my mom to leave the room. My mom would still try to do that shit over the years, and that's how I ended up getting that diagnosis to begin with, was my mom. Not me answering questions, my mom. So yeah, I had to deal with that shit. Yet regardless of all of it, still bothers me to know that I don't see my mom like being around much longer, and the idea that my brothers and them are too busy hating and intentionally like putting, especially the idea, knowing that my oldest is involved in this shit, the way he slipped. Well, the grandkids aren't going to do anything to you so long as you're at, mom and dad's house. What did the grandkids have anything to do with this? So what grandkids are we talking about? Because my kids, one's like 2 hours away. The other one, last I knew, was like 5 states away. 2 of his don't even live in the state. One of those 2 doesn't even live in the country. So what grandkids is he talking about? My family is basically, in essence, and I think my dad, to some degree, either knows about it or something, or he's intentionally just that fucking oblivious and self-absorbed himself. Because I'll watch him break down at the thought of losing my mom, but he ain't doing anything to change it. My mom's health was better in a facility, but now my mom, I don't see her surviving. He just sits there. He checks on her, makes sure she's all okay, and I'll make sure she has her meds and all this. He takes care of her. Not like he sits on his ass the whole time, but it's like I've watched her health progressively get worse, not better. And it's because my dad has the same care abilities for my mom as he does the dogs. He loves them very much. He tries to feed them all every day, takes care of them, does all this stuff. But doesn't realize that what he's doing and how he's doing it needs to stop. So you need to get more on top of these other things. It's not just about having mom laying around in a room or sitting on a chair in a room 90% of the time the way I got stuck. I watched what it did to my mom. My dad knows what it's going to do to me. So does the rest of the family. They all know. And I'm at the point I know. That's why I want to leave my family behind. The idea I have to think about the aspect. I'm not going to have my mom around much longer because of this abuse. Even though my mom was very much a part of the abuse that was going on before she had her strokes. She was very much involved in it. Until the family, until grandkids and different ones like that started alienating her too and isolating her. And then doing it to my dad. If I came to visit or stayed here, they're guaranteed not to see grandkids or anybody else. The only person that they're guaranteed to see here is my oldest brother. Nobody else. Unless my dad took my mom over to my Aunt Jane's or something like that, one of my mom's sister's places. And all that. But other than that, nothing. When it comes to cruel and unusual punishment, that is more or less like destroying lives. My family's doing it. And it's not like, in essence, just my dad or my mom type thing. It's my whole fucked up family. Minus maybe a couple of aunts and uncles that don't live in the state and all that. I'll just put it's primarily my mom's older sister and her family and my brother. Along with my child's mother and all that shit. They want to get upset that I say this, and I've said this more than once now at this point. It's because they've all slipped. They've all made comments to some degree at some point. Minus, well, I'll put it this way. We'll narrow it down to make it easier. Mainly my older brother, my son's mom, and my own mother. They made enough slips and all that over the last several years, and then between my brother and my older son's mom over the last few years, my oldest brother especially over the last few weeks, made some serious slips. So I'm well aware my entire family is fucking dangerous. For what? What did I do to you guys? And who are these grandkids that I have to worry about? Because my life's in danger. It's been made clear that my life's been threatened. Why would my life be threatened or be an issue? Why would me being alive have any problem with some grandkids I don't even know about, is what I'm now wondering. Because I know mine, and these others don't have anything to do with it. So what is it? Is it those kids? Because I don't really think so. Because last I knew, my nieces, like I said, were not in the state. One of them's not even in the country. My 2 boys, one of them's 2-3 hours away. The other one's like 4 or 5 states away. My folks has the address to their place sitting right on their desk, written right up on the wall, or at least to her family's place or whichever one. So it's like, No, I've been dealing with the continued abuse and all purposes. It feels like the family's trying not only to get my mom knocked off, but get me knocked off by causing so much stress and alienation and isolation that it causes some severe health problems. So that they can claim somebody's crazy and the other one drops off. I said there's something very sick going on in my family and I don't want to be here. I want to be away from my family. I don't want any part of what they're doing or what they're taking part of or whatever reason it is that it's so important to have me isolated and try to drive me nuts. While in the process of it, it's literally affected my mom to the point she's on her deathbed. As I've said here the other day, I don't see my mom really making it to the end of the year, possibly into summer. I don't see it. And my dad, the way he plays stupid on occasions here and there, and some of these different ones, I've got the it. I don't understand all this, and that's why some of these things. It's really itching in my brain a lot. Like how much bullshit has been going on that I don't know about, and why am I been thrown on a dartboard as a center target for something I don't fucking even know about. I know what my mom's life insurance thing is. That's not enough to go try and get one of your family members knocked off or locked up in a fucking mental facility. So what's going on? Because all I'd like to do is be able to get my home sold so I can go get another home after being fucking screwed over the way I was and be able to reinvest some of that into actually starting a business and a stable one. And all the while, that would have been done after my parents were paid back for what part they helped me on getting a home and the co-signing. I literally will not get shit from my parents on an inheritance because I don't want it. They helped me they helped me on the co-signing in all that house, but I have all the proof to show that I've been paying for that fucking house the whole time. The agreement with them was that house gets sold, they get paid back, and that's exactly what's been going on. I literally won't be getting anything out of the family inheritance. So, and knowing what my dad has and my mom, knowing what their policies are and all that stuff, and aware of certain things, not even that's enough to go and intentionally do what's going on. Identity theft shit, that's obviously going on. People attempting to try and get me to go crazy or to get me locked into a place stating I'm crazy. That's obviously been going on because Melissa slipped up more than once on that one. So what is it, family, that makes me such a threat that me being alone on that fucking mountain for the last 4 or 5 years, having absolute limited human contact because all of you fucking alienated the shit out of me and joined in on the abuse. And while I was there unwittingly, was there just paying my bills, trying to get shit done at home, cook dinner for somebody else every night, do all this other shit so that all this other crap. Only find out my life has been in danger the entire time and a threat. Why? Because like I said, what my parents have for life insurance does not make sense for anybody to be pulling some really fucked up shit. So what is it why is my family actively trying to basically get me locked up, let alone has had my life put in danger? What are you guys getting out of this? Because this doesn't just go back to entertainment. I think this goes beyond entertainment and manipulation. I think you all know something. Is there somebody that we're related to that y'all somehow stumbled on? What? because it doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, all I want is all I would like is I would like to have my sanity back for one. Two, I'd like my life back. Three, I just like to be left the fuck alone, so I can get my outside, get my home sold and moved and all. Considering everybody's adamant about me moving out of the state, everybody's been quiet about me pretty much in a lot of ways, other than trying to get everybody to think I'm crazy. When it's at the hands of you guys, taking part in the harassment, the cyber stalking, and all that. Like I said, I gave the number to this phone to only 3 people, and magically I started getting phone calls asking for the same person on both phones within 24 hours. There's a reason why I even pulled up my dad's DNA testing. Because now I'm questioning, what is it that makes me a threat to people for my life to be put in danger and to be put into a prison like this? And to be told by my own sibling that as long as you stay at mom and dad's house, the grandkids won't do anything. When the grandkids have never been a subject or topic between my brother and I. Why is my life being threatened? Unknowingly, involving more than just obviously family members, because I don't even know at this point. That is also involving some fairly dangerous groups of people. Because I know the linkages of certain groups of people to certain family members that are involved in this circle of people. From a cousin of mine in that family to a old foster sibling, and the connection to other groups of people where that's concerned. That originally it went from me just dealing with my narcissistic abuser to all of a sudden it blows up into that, and then I'm finding out about all this other shit. Why has my life been put in danger quietly? And why is my parents and I basically, my dad's basically in essence almost like a weird prison warden, almost like making sure shit's getting done. Like, that's what it feels like. It bothers my dad. I watch him start to cry and break down over the thought of losing my mom, but his actions of taking care of my mom the way he promised to make and all that stuff does not match. My mom's health should not be going downhill when her health was getting better while at the facility that she was at. She was able to talk more. She was more mobile. All that. Here, my dad basically just pretty much lets her lay in a room. Lets her stay in there. Neglect is a big abusive thing in this family. And you guys are really good at that. There's a reason why I called out my brothers. Because I couldn't be the only one to be here for my family. And the fact that you guys want to show up only when I'm gone. Or you think I might be going through a hard time and you're getting in it. You want to check face to face. Because that's what that's feeling like. Just like the meeting with my old foster sister. That was some shit. They know something. You all know something. And you put my life in danger for what? Because it doesn't make sense otherwise. And my brother, yeah, he's already knows where my hunch is at. Well, he doesn't realize that he's a part of that now. He's, in my mind, no, I can't help it. Because he's the only one in the group that will come and check on things like once every couple weeks. Like he's checking to see how mom's health is doing. I'm already aware where my older son's mom and her girlfriend and them were trying to get me made out to be crazy because they're also the ones involved where the Social Security shit's concerned. That's why I have my appointment with Social Security on the 27th. It's because of my child's mother and her friend. And possibly my aunt also. They're outright trying to destroy my life. For what? What is the purpose? Because I already am not getting shit for inheritance from my parents because I didn't want it. I don't want it. I was literally getting help on the home so I could get a start, a chance. Something that family usually does. is help each other, especially when they know that, yeah. And you know what? Haven't had a problem keeping up on my bills and paying my bills. That's why my folks offered to help like they did and co-sign. So I had to start, and by the time I was able and ready to move, the idea that was forced like this type of situation. Either way, my parents were getting paid back. Either way, I would have got nothing at that point from my parents. So, and knowing that there really ain't shit for life insurances and all that stuff on my mom and all that, and my dad, like to that extent, to for an entire family to literally target one family member and put their life in danger. I want to know what's going on. Why would my brother make a slip like that? Why would my life be put in danger by a group of bikers, let alone fucking family members who are related to groups of terrorists? Why the fuck is my life being fucking put in danger by people I don't know who the fuck they are? For what? What is it? What is it? Because like I said, I got all the proof. I've got everything here. And because of that one text message, that really, like everything else, has been opening one can of worms after another. So why is my life in danger? And it's been threatened to the point that as long as I'm at mom and dad's house, I'm safe. You guys are waiting for mom and dad to die, or at least mom. So what the fuck is going on? Because honestly, that sounds like some sort of inheritance scam going on. Not just relationship scams and catfishing and all this shit going on. Not just the fucking... Yeah, there's a list of shit because... Well, again, my son's mother slipped up on a lot of shit. Her girlfriend wasn't very smart about her shit either. I paid attention. The fact that I was abused as a child myself, I recognize when a child's been abused. When they would rather seek the comfort of another person than their own mother... The fact the child doesn't look like... You can all get pissed. They all slipped. And because I pay attention to those, even those little things... I mean, come on. I know what type of eyeliner my son's mother wears. Down to brand, color, all of it. I can... Yeah. When you get to know somebody, you get to know them. That's the importance of a relationship and a commitment. And when you want somebody to be committed to you, then... And probably didn't want somebody to be committed to you then, if or not, because being committed to someone is also getting to know them. And I was committed. They weren't. So all these questions have been coming up. Because where does my kids have to, my kids, my brother's kids, and all have anything to do with the threats that I've been getting from these other groups? Let alone the cyber stalking and the random phone calls from people asking if I want insurance. All of a sudden, both phones, same groups of people. And they all go back to the same fucking family members. Why is my life being put in danger by you guys? So like I said, I'm aware of what the inheritance stuff is with my parents, and it ain't shit for you guys to be fucking doing that. Let alone a whole bunch of people. Why is my life in danger?